Welcome back to another episode of That Stupid Podcast. For those of you behind the camera, I'm just going to say take two. He'll get it. You won't.
Uh-huh.
So, today, It's June the 5th, 2014. We're going to hit you with some pop culture.
Yep, it's coming at you, and we're going to pop it out real quick.
Pop culture.
I'm not singing and dancing. I'm no monkey this week.
Yeah, so, I want to kick things off with a little Jurassic World.
Jurassic Park 4.
A.K.A. Jurassic Park 4.
Return to Deadly Jurassic Park Island.
You know, I played in UT Honors Band when I was in high school. We actually played the Jurassic Park theme in our concert. It was kind of fun. So, it's a stupid story. But, Jurassic Park 4, for those of you who may have noticed, there was a small leak last week.
The small leak is... Yeah, the whole plot came out.
The whole plot came out on the internet. Well, it turns out it's not the whole plot, but... And we're not going to talk about what was in... If you want to go find out, go Google Jurassic
Park
World
4 plot.
Yeah, you'll find it.
It's on /film.
The thing you want to know, though, is that if you do go spoil yourself with that information, you're going to find...
Totally correct.
Confirmed. Now, it was missing bits, but what was out there is correct.
Oh, yeah.
So...
And it got confirmed by the director.
Yeah, he's
who hap-heartedly...
Yeah, he's like, well, yeah.
Upsettedly...
Yeah,
he was like, well, I guess the T-Rex is out of the electrified protective fence on this one.
Pretty much, so... And all I can say is it's a good thing Quentin Tarantino didn't write this film, because it would be like, well, screw that, rip. And because that's what he does.
However, another rumor for you right there, Hateful Eight, shooting in November. Suck on it, Quentin.
I'm just saying, what are you going to do about that?
What?
You know what he'll do?
Internet television show with like 5 subscribers? What?
He'll start shooting in December.
That's right, just to spite us.
Exactly.
Well, those guys on the internet, I'll show them.
We'll get a letter. Hey, Quentin, show it at thatstupidpodcast.com. You can send us the email with a big screw you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was the big news. We're not going to tell you again. We're not going to spoil it. But if you want to go find out, that's confirmed. So
now, the big news of last week is that, well, if you guys have heard of a movie called AntMan by Marvel, then you might know Edgar Wright was supposed to direct it. Now, I say supposed to because, unfortunately, he and Marvel have amicably parted ways.
Now, for those of you who don't know who Edgar Wright is, if you've seen Hot Fuzz
Shaun
or Shaun of the Dead or At World's End or Scott Pilgrim
versus the world.
Yeah, so the Coronado trilogy was Hot Fuzz. He directed, as you mentioned,
he directed the ultimate cult classic, fan favorite. I drove all the way to Atlanta to see it early and see him do an after show interview.
Yeah, and we went to. Did you go to the? I can't remember if you went that night to the Coronado trilogy.
No, I was unable to go because I was working.
That's right. Yeah, so that was awesome. 6 hours of awesome.
Absolutely. Well, the downside is the word on the street reported is that he had a vision for Ant-Man, which I was really excited about. He had co-written it with one of his friends, so I can't remember the name of.
And I don't even know. You need to know what the vision is. If it's his, I'm in.
I trust him. Yeah, exactly. I trust him full 100%.
But
if you don't trust this guy to make a movie,
Marvel.
Don't hire him to direct your film. So they sent his story off. Apparently, he got in it with Disney, not exactly with Marvel.
Well, yeah. Fair enough.
And it got sent off to the writer's pen, given to a very young or amateurish writer. Yeah. It got destroyed and sent back, and they go, "Yeah, make that movie." And
came back with some red ink, looked like a high school term paper.
Yeah, and he was just like, "No,
that's a whole bag of nope.
Thank you, big old bag of nope to go yourselfville."
He walked away.
And I can't blame him. I can't blame him. And, Joss Whedon was supportive on it on Twitter.
Tweeting, like, right away. And Simon Pegg,
Simon Pegg was on it.
Because the man is awesome.
I mean, he's Edgar Wright. I know that, yes, he's only made so many films, but
They've
he's
all been
Edgar
awesome.
Wright, and he's never had a misstep. This, however... will be Marvel's first misstep. And if you're not careful, Marvel, and you technically don't scrap this whole project, DC is going to eat you alive with this. But we'll get on that in another second.
Yeah, Justice League's coming, buddy. And maybe they will. Maybe they'll see the backlash and they'll be like, you know what? This is
I can only hope that that's what they do. Yeah. Because otherwise you guys are screwing up. You done goofed.
You're making a mistake.
Now, speaking of goofs that are possibly being corrected.
Yeah?
# 6 seasons in a movie. Biatch.
Uh-oh.
Community is in talks at the moment. Now, there's no serious word on this, whether it's happening or not, so save your hashtags for a moment. Hulu, which is owned by NBC, ironically enough, and Sony Pictures.
Well, it's a joint venture between NBC Universal, Fox,
and Sony.
Somebody else too, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's ABC. I think it's ABC or Warner Brothers.
I can't remember. But anyway.
Anyways, the point being is they're talking about bringing Community back for a 6th season. They want to see
direct to Hulu or
direct to Hulu.
I'm
and
with that.
as far as I know, you will have to be a Hulu Plus subscriber.
Well, I already am
to watch it. Now, I will subscribe to Hulu Plus
for 2 months
for the amount of time it takes me to see my Community Season 6.
Yeah.
You will have my $20 of my money. I will give you that for Community Season 6 because I think it's worth it, and I need it to wrap up. I need my closure.
I do too.
And I think that you guys will see a lot of internet numbers that you didn't get otherwise on cable. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it'll be out there. Now,
and it will give Hulu finally an original show that doesn't suck. I'm sorry, Hulu.
Well, to be fair, they have one currently called Deadbeat or Deadbust or something like that. It's got Tyler Labine in it.
Oh, I missed that one.
Hilarious. He plays a stoner who is a ghost psychic and talks to ghosts and has to send their spirits away from the world. And the first episode goes down because there's a ghost who wants to possess him and have sex with his love from when he was younger. But the thing is, he's a World War II ghost, and the lady's all old, and he's got to get all, whoa, man, so that the ghost can get inside of him, and then, skeet with a grandma.
No, that's a...
dirty.
No. Ew. God.
So, all right, so with that said...
I'm sorry.
Kevin Smith has been dropping the bomb diggity of information all over Batman vs. Superman. He stated that as he had seen the costume before everybody, he wasn't allowed to talk about it since Zack Snyder showed the costume off, he confirmed the costume will be blue and gray, a.k.a. the Frank Miller series, later Batmans. And we're talking old Batmans now. What he also said on the last Smodcast... The last Smodcast was that this has gone from being a Superman sequel to being so much more than a Superman sequel. It's not even considered Superman 2 at this point.
Nice.
It's apparently going to be the first in a 5 to 6 film story arc leading up to and including the Justice League movies. They are playing a quick play to catch up with Marvel. Oh, yeah. Didn't we talk about this last week? Because we did.
Yeah.
Called it. That's another one we've nailed. And we're getting scary good at this.
We are.
And everybody can go, oh, well, sorry, I read that on the internet. Yeah, well, we're a week behind on these things. We have to film them, edit them, and get them to you. But you know what? Never wrong. We are never wrong.
Oh, well, you
check the dates.
Completely screwed us now.
The biggest thing, however, which happened literally yesterday, within inside of 24 hours.
Yeah, when he says yesterday, he means of taping. So this would be Wednesday of last week.
Which would have been the 28th.
Yeah.
Reading Rainbow. Take a look. It's in a book.
For those of you who don't know, LeVar Burton, a.k.a. Geordi LaForge from Star Trek The Next Generation, has been doing for actually a long time, like 20 years almost, right? Or
like 30 years.
30 years on PBS, right?
He's been doing Reading Rainbow on PBS, I want to say, since the late 70s.
Yeah, he's not that old, is he? Besides, that's 40 years.
It could have it could have been early 80s then.
I was thinking early mid 80s because he was doing it right before. Cause
then mid 80s.
TNG started in 87.
It would have been the same time he was doing Roots.
Right before that.
It would have been the same time he was doing Roots.
And that would have been 85, I think.
Okay.
So anyway, point is, Reading Rainbow, for those who don't know, is LeVar Burton's little program. And think of it like reading for kids, but awesome.
But awesome. Yes, it does involve reading, but it also involved, taking you on like field trips through books and dressing up and costumes and voices, and they do the illustrations on screen and read to you.
The new generation's version of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and it doesn't suck.
Well, check it out. We had it as kids, and you know what? It was awesome on TV, but TV has come and gone. So now we're looking at phone apps, tablet apps, the interactive website. They're actually going to be providing this to schools.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff. Now, we don't want to get into it too much because our sister program, Bookworm, is going to be discussing it.
They are. Yeah.
So I'm going to get out of their turf.
But one thing we are going to say about it.
We have a knife fight with music involved.
It's on Kickstarter, the reason we're mentioning this.
It is.
And it's the fastest growing thing since Veronica Mars.
Absolutely. It hit $1 million in 11 hours, right?
Yeah. Like,
it was everybody. That should show you how much people care about this. Now, the Kickstarter's still open for their official entire date, so they're going to try and hit their stretch goals. And please continue to donate.
Absolutely.
Now, I will tell you this. I'm going to need about $10,000.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to need about $10,000 because there's one package which isn't purchased yet.
Oh, yeah.
And it allows me... This is the one
you get to be on the show, right?
No.
Or no?
You get to hang out at Geordi LaForge's house.
Oh, God.
And on top of that, after you eat dinner with him, he lets you put on the visor. Now, you may talk trash about this.
I'm gonna...
There is only one of those visors left in the world. And do you know who owns it? LeVar Burton. I want to put on Geordi's visor, kids. I need $10,000. I need this in my life. If I have to give away all my Christmases for the rest of my life and birthdays to put on that visor one time, I'll do it.
All right. Good luck.
So I'm gonna need about $10,000.
All right. Well, good luck with that.
So just out there, if any rich philanthropists or people in India, Dubai, Turkey, if that's a rich country, I don't do geography well. If you want to just send me a nice check for $10,000 that I can send to LeVar Burton directly, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, okay.
You got nothing to top that one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I could talk about my money I'm asking for, but I'm not going to.
Oh, okay. So. Well, all right. Steven's also asking for some change, but it's actually for a way more selfless reason.
I'm asking for more money too.
He's asking for $25,000.
Yeah, so
you want to tell him about it?
Might as well, since we talk about it. I have a a GoFundMe campaign. So for those of you who follow me personally on my weight loss site, findinglean.com, and I've talked about it on our podcast here a few times. I've been losing weight. I've lost about 280 pounds in the last year and a half. So
it's a lot, people. In case you're not familiar, that's a lot.
It's a lot of weight. It's half of me, basically.
Yes, that is me at my fat weight.
So as a result, I has about 70 pounds of skin now that
he's stretchy. It's like you took a Stretch Armstrong doll and you just played with it for way too long.
So I mean, you can, I've got the turkey. I probably won't fix this because this doesn't actually. Just think that, but around my midsection and my arms and my legs, it's just it's everywhere. And my insurance isn't going to cover,
which is BS.
Any of the surgeries. The first of which is about $8,300.
Thanks, Obama. Care.
So I'm asking for $25,000. So you can find me on GoFundMe, and actually, you know what? I'll put a link at the bottom of the description.
Boom.
So it'll be in the YouTube video and in the our website. I'll put a link out there.
Speaking of which, make sure to follow us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/thatstupidpodcast.
But we have one more story to talk about.
Oh,
I actually wanted to.
I was wrapping up. I'm sorry.
No.
Ready to go.
We're not going to spoil anything, but we saw 2 movies.
Oh, yeah, we did.
So
let's talk about the first. Let's talk about the one
XMen.
So I couldn't get any. Well, okay, we're gonna talk about XMen.
I want to talk about XMen first.
Okay.
So we didn't see this together because schedules.
Spoiler alert. For this one, I'm throwing spoiler alert because we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
It's been out for a couple weeks at this point. X-Men has.
It's X-Men Days of Future Past.
It's X-Men Days of Awesome.
It is the best movie in the franchise.
Before spoiling anything, and this is... So before the spoiler alerts, I'll say this, and this doesn't ruin anything. I told somebody this today. This makes me want to see another X-Men movie.
Good thing we're getting one.
I know, right? And it doesn't have a stupid, weird cliffhanger.
Nope.
It wrapped up nicely.
Yep.
And you literally just, okay, where's the next one? I want it now. I have to have it now. I need another...
I need this in my life.
Now, spoilers. But halfway through the movie, I realized something. Something popped in my head. I'm going to see Jean Grey at the end of this film, aren't I? And who did I see at the end of the film?
Everyone that's ever died ever.
Jean.
Rogue.
With
her powers.
I know, right? Because the hair...
Magneto's back. Kelsey Grammer's hanging out, walking through the halls. He's all like, hey, what's going on, Logan?
Beast came back down the hallway. So...
The good news for you true Blue fans...
Yeah.
Basically because of the actions that happened with the whole Back in the Past, Back in the Future
no
thing.
X-Men 2.
2 and 3?
No X-Men 3.
Never happened.
So no Ryan Reynolds weird.
What are you talking about?
He was...
Wolverine Origins?
Yeah.
That's different.
But
Wolverine Origins, actually Wolverine Origins did happen. It's still in the continuity path.
I'm saying it didn't happen.
Go ahead.
It was a horrible movie.
But that Ryan Reynolds thing, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. However, the Deadpool at the end of that movie was not actually Deadpool. It was a clone of Deadpool, and that's the story, and they're sticking to it.
Right.
Because the Deadpool movie's still going to happen.
Here's why I think it didn't happen, because Stryker's not... Stryker.
You don't know that. Stryker's still there, but at the end of the movie, Stryker was Mystique.
Well, no, that's Stryker's Mystique. No, that's Stryker's Mystique, but Stryker...
How do you know that that's not the event that caused Stryker to be Stryker?
Touche.
Whoa!
Stupid time paradoxes.
Wibbly wobbly. Timey-wimey.
Yeah. So you're touche. But X-Men 2 and 3 are gone. They're absolutely
They
gone.
don't ever happen, and that's awesome because they just kick continuity back in, retcon the 2 movies nobody liked, and we're back.
And we're getting another one, and it's gonna be so
That's
good.
right. We're getting Age of Apocalypse. Stay after the credits. You'll understand exactly what we're talking about.
So the other movie we saw.
The other movie we saw, by the way, doesn't even come out until tomorrow.
Yeah, so technically, since this is Thursday, June
just
whatever,
came out last Friday.
It came out Friday, but we were taping this on Thursday the 29th, and we saw this Tuesday.
We saw this on the 27th.
We got to see an early screening of
1,000 Ways to Die in the West.
A Million Ways to Die in the West.
A Million Ways.
Stop saying 1,000.
Is it 1,000?
It's a million
Hang
ways.
on, I'm Googling it.
Hashtag saw a million ways.
Yeah, I guess it is A Million Ways to Die.
There is a movie called 1,000 Ways to Die. It's just not that.
No, that's a show called 1,000 Ways to Die.
But A Million Ways to Die in the West, Seth MacFarlane.
Hilarious.
So I'm going to say first, before we're not going to ruin this movie. We're not going to spoil this movie. But we are going to talk a little reviewy for a minute. The first thing I want to say is this, very simply. I was worried about this film turning into Ride Along or any of those other movies that is funny in the trailer.
We both thought it was all going to be in the trailer.
There's not one unfunny moment. And I mean, it's a 90-minute movie, and you're laughing for 93 minutes.
I mean, I will say this. Yeah, it's a 156-minute runtime.
Right.
Now, with that said, in 156 minutes, any times that I wasn't laughing, which there were times where I was not laughing.
It's still good, and
it was still an entertaining story. Great. I know why Family Guy's been terrible the last 2 years. He's been making this. And I know why that I mean, he made Ted. They let him make this. It's amazing. I think it'll do well.
This is better than Ted.
It is
way better than Ted.
It is better.
I like Ted.
It is better than Ted. It will not make as much money as Ted.
That's probably true.
And Ted 2 will be out also because of this movie.
So let's talk about the cast. I mean, you got an amazing cast. Not just Seth MacFarlane.
Neil Patrick Harris,
Charlize Theron,
Giovanni Ribisi,
Liam Neeson,
Sarah Silverman,
who is funny. Oh my God!
Is so
I love Sarah Silverman anyway, but she's funny in this movie.
Absolutely,
she's absolutely funny in this movie.
Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah. So
I love how I scrolled down to cast and I was like, who else is in that?
Yeah. Look,
go spend your money on this movie, and
here's why I say so. We got a free screening.
It's free, yeah.
But I'm gonna go on a date Friday.
You should. Yeah, I may actually end up going to see it again. Remember 2 words when you go into the theater: chili hat. Chili hat.
People die at the fair, y'all.
People die at the fair.
Such a good movie. Such a good movie.
All right, go see it. See you in pop culture. We're wrapping it up for Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow with the best of.
We're doing best of?
Oh, we're doing 8 and 16-bit video games.
8 and 16-bit video games. We're talking NES console type times. The old Sega.
We're talking Genesis, Super NES, and NES. So come on back tomorrow. We'll see you then. What?
We were recording the whole time.
Oh no, bro!
I looked up.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, we just started recording.
Why? Why do you do these things to me?
All right.
We just spent fucking
6 minutes. Yeah, let's go.
I don't have enough sass left in me. I wasted all my sass right then and there.